visible. Let me just share, ask the people in the, yeah, can you just tag everyone to just check if the audio is working? Sahil, can you just go to that video ninja thing? Actually, can you just say something? Okay, okay, it's fine, yeah. Okay, let's just see if there are any. So we are actually live right now. Okay, Monkey Yo is here. Hey Monkey Yo, what's going on?
I spoke with Monkey on WhatsApp earlier this day.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we spoke a couple of times. So, hey Monkey.
What are we gonna talk about today?
So, we are talking about interesting things, a lot of interesting things happening in the industry. So, yeah, like, what do you think? Like, can you guess any trending things which are coming in and which we will be discussing?
Yeah, people, you need to guess what are we going to talk about today. Like
Why don't
it's
we
the
start
most
this?
interesting thing happening in the world, and that's
It's
uh,
literally every company is behind this tech booming as of now.
hey Gunnar in the house.
Literally every company is in this booming. It's like it's crazy. The scalability of the users, the advanced developments on the it's huge.
Okay, Sahil.
Any guesses, folks?
Yeah, any guesses, folks? Just type it down in the YouTube chat. Let us know what you think is gonna be today's topic. Um, okay, someone's saying Sahil's audio is a little less.
Is it better if Simil could just run the like
Yeah,
reverse code?
can you just check if it's yeah, I think I increased Sahil's audio, so maybe it's better now.
That's if someone just could give a heads up. I could have checked from my side, but if I open YouTube, it will be echoing. Like few parallel platforms are using on.
Okay.
I hope it's better now. Like really like holding the mic near to the mouth and saying it like high pitch.
Vladar is back. Hey Vladar.
Welcome.
And Dhirendra is also here. GM.
GM for GM.
Okay, so maybe we can. Okay, Sahil, could you just switch to the other tab because like the
Yeah,
screen is like mirroring.
yeah. So I guess a couple of folks must have, guessed as of now. The first thing which we are going to discuss. So obviously, like the main topic for today on Kwala is like AI X rugby. So as you all know about Kwala, how it is working in rugby and how it works as like a vector automation tool for your decentralized applications. So to relate to that, a quite interesting topic we have today, that is AI agents, which are overtaking wallet functions in rugby. So recently, this is really huge because it's MetaMask. It's the biggest Web3 wallet tech company in the world. So recently, MetaMask, like they launched like a new AI agent wallet which lets bots trade your own crypto. So basically, from now onwards, you don't need to actually like manually manage your assets. The bot will take care of it. Basically, you can uh, like let's say you have some assets and there are some thresholds you can pass. Let's say on the first of every month I want an update, or on the first of every month I want to exchange something. I want to swap between, let's say, ETH and let's say base, and like as per your requirement, the AI agents, like by definition, they act on your behalf without asking permission for everything. Like, that just creates a so how do you give a bot enough freedom to be useful? So uh, it's sometimes it can be risky because it can clean your wallet, and like that can be a huge problem. So
Oh damn! Just 200 spots. Sahil, your voice is echoing. I think. Could you just? Uh, yeah, I think it's. Can you just say something again? Hmm.
percent security, but it will be a minimum damage. So in case the agent is compromised. So yeah, like they are trying their best to prevent all hacks and attacks. But yeah, like again, there's no like 100% secure system as of now.
Hmm.
Eventually they can build it, and I'm pretty sure that MetaMask is going in that direction. So it's really cool. So it's a big relief for all the traders and all. Like manually need to check the market, look for updates, look what are the like ups and downs in the market at what are the standings of their assets. So as you all know, currently the crypto assets are quite, like it's quite a downfall. BTC is around 60,000. That's exactly. Then even Ethereum is down. Solana was somewhere around like it's hardly like $60-$70. So that's pretty less. So in case someone wants to sell those assets quick and without manually managing that, this AI agent is a big relief for you. So yeah, the trading folks, this is huge. You should definitely check this out. And if you're lucky enough, maybe you can get a place in the first 200 users. So yeah, like that's where we are. That's the direction in which MetaMask is working. And other players like OpenWallet, Standard, Pay, Ledger, and other like fintech, like payment portals like PayPal, they are also like working to enhance the interoperability. Like they are also working in the same direction as AI agents. Even recently, there was this announcement by Binance in around March 26ish. Binance and OKX Wallet. So even they initiated a joint venture to work in this direction, AIX Web3. And even OKX Wallet is working on providing AI agent function. So this is huge. Like AI is literally like we all know, like we are living in the AI era. The next couple of years, AI will be a part of our life, just like mobile phones and smart devices. AI will be added to that. So this is really huge that AI is also enhancing the Web3 market as well. So this is the really first interesting topic Rajdeep and I were discussing. So yeah, so that's the thing. And similar to this is like another great like announcement by Virtues. So yeah, so as we discussed, BTC is at $62,000, ETH is at 16.6, Binance is 598, Sol is 16, like so this is very sad. Tron is 0.321 over this market. So yeah, like coming back to the AIX Web3 part. So I'm pretty sure most of you must have heard about, or at least like on Twitter, you must have seen something around Virtuous Protocol. So Virtuous Protocol is quite a famous, like product in Web3, quite famous portal. So Virtuous Protocol is basically, you can basically create NFTs for your AI agent. So let's say I have an AI agent, let's say for example Pikachu. So I'll create an NFT in the name of Pikachu, and that NFT will be like a token, like actual non-fungible token, which will have some value. And over Virtuous Protocol, I can create that token, and further I can like either buy it or sell it or exchange it for something that will have some real world value. So maybe some, let's say $0.3 or something. So this is what Virtual Protocols does. So this is a platform for AI agents and NFT creation. So
Sahil,
so
maybe let's do one thing. I'll can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I'll share my screen, and maybe you can. I'll open up Virtuous Protocol, and then you can just like talk about it.
Like is my screen not visible properly?
Yeah, or you could like you could also share the Virtuous Protocol so that people just get some more context.
The portal you're saying?
Yeah, just like their website.
Yeah, just a second.
Yeah, it's there. Like virtuals.io.
So this is the protocol of which we were talking about. So yeah, a society of AI agents with its own GDP. This is really cool. Like this image, I'm pretty sure it's really fascinating. AI agents are literally running the whole market in ancient Greece. So this is how like the platform is, and you can simply like jump to virtuals.io and open the app and run it. Create your AI agent NFT, have some market value. Then yeah, so launch token, create agent, So yeah, like AIX Web3 folks, this is a go-to platform for you people. So you should definitely check it out and give it a try. You can like launch your own agent. You can launch your own tokens with the platform, and it's pretty cool. So this is what we were discussing, and recently Virtuals also mentioned that it has created its like a huge AI agent economy. So it's contributing in the AI agent economy. You can see the stats. So recently, Virtuals protocol in the 2026 AI roadmap. So focusing on a couple of areas, like they expanded the capital markets and it raised like $29.5 billion for 15,000 projects. So the Virtuals AI ecosystem is expanding hugely. Like it's really crazy, like 15,000 projects. So that, you know, like they are being built on Virtuals and with 500k real world assets in the past year. So this is growing year on year. So definitely check out Virtuals protocol. And the reason we're discussing this specific article is to like put some light on how big the AI market is and how fast it is growing, and how AIX Web3 is going hand in hand to build some really great projects. So yeah, like Virtuals protocol, the whole infrastructure is expanding. It's growing fast, and it's pretty smooth for everyone to test. So definitely, yeah, like you should check out Virtuals protocol. So yeah, I guess Raj, like these are the 2 points which I had today for you, for the audience, which we discussed. And now I guess we can, like I can forward it to you and you can take it over from here for the main thing, which is Kwala AI Expert.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sahil. I think I can share my screen and
Yeah, go ahead. I have stuff.
just a minute. I'll just go ahead and okay, I think my screen is visible now.
Yeah, that's visible.
Cool. Okay, so basically today we in the intro we talked about, just to give a gist of what Sahil talked about, is the MetaMask AI agents integration. So they have created this new product in which you could directly trade by writing prompts like you write on your LLMs like ChatGPT, on Claude, etc. So you could basically directly trade from so they're calling it Agent Wallet. This is the link. This is the one which Sahil showed. So you could just type a prompt like open a $10 BTC long with 2x leverage on Hyperliquid. So you could do this kind of stuff just using prompts. I hope I get the early access. And the second one Sahil talked about is the Virtuals protocol, which lets you tokenize your agents. So what are agents? Agents are systems which do certain jobs. Like they could do any kind of job like computation or making any kind of decision with the help of AI typically. That's how they're different from regular bots, and they do it by with the help of AI, right? So Virtuals protocol, what it does is it lets you create your own agents. So let's say I want to create an agent that that invests in some DeFi protocols on its own 24/7, and then I want to tokenize that agent. So I want to create an agent called, I don't know, maybe Kobe. This is some agent that someone has created, and they have tokenized it. So this agent itself is tradable. So I could buy shares of this agent and pretty much make money along with this agent. So if this particular agent is profitable, then I'd also get my fair set of profits. So that's how they're building tokenized agents. And how is this related to Kwala? That's what we're going to cover today. And why are we even talking about agents? So to give you, I think you must have seen today's topic, which is building an agentic copilot, right? An agentic copilot for crypto trading signals. So what we're going to do today is we are building an agent from scratch with the help of Kwala. So we are going to build our own very simple agent, or like a framework for building agents with the help of Kwala, without really using back-end code that's typically needed to create agents. So what is an agent in simple terms? It basically does run some background jobs, and it does have some components which take the help of AI to make certain decisions, and then based on those decisions from the AI, they take certain actions. So the actions could be trading the user's capital, just like MetaMask agent wallet does. It basically takes these positions and it does trading essentially. And then there could be other kinds of agents which could be your friend, or some character with whom you could talk with, or there could be different kinds of agents like gaming agents, and there are a bunch of others on virtual. So people have been pretty innovative in terms of doing stuff like they're building law agents, legal agents. They're building capital formation agents for gathering liquidity, getting investments, managing companies, and they're doing it for commerce like Shopify or Amazon style agents. And there are obviously a huge, the list just goes on. We're going to take a very simple case where we try to build an agent that tracks the price of an asset. If for our example, we're just tracking Bitcoin, and based on the Bitcoin price and certain other factors, we're going to take the help of AI to, or rather we're going to take the help of AI to take some decision on trading and get some signals based on whatever our portfolio is, like the user's portfolio is, and the current price of Bitcoin and certain other factors. This is obviously just a small MVP so that we demonstrate you how to build an agent. Then if you're going to build something that you're going to use, you will obviously customize it to your preferences. So if you have a look at this dashboard, this is basically our agent which is running today, and it tracks the price of Bitcoin, and it tells you, it gives you a signal that whether you should buy Bitcoin or sell Bitcoin and what amount of Bitcoin based on whatever your portfolio is, and it gives a certain confidence, like 80% confident to sell, hold or buy. So how do we even build something like this? So an agent, essentially what it does is it runs like a script, or it's similar to a bot which keeps running all the time, maybe at certain intervals, certain frequencies, and it does some certain tasks in our case, it is to see what the what the user's portfolio is, what their preferences are, and the current price of the asset, and then it gives a decision. So to do this, what we're using is basically the Gemini API, or okay, so basically we have certain ways to get this decision. Like, so if you have a look at the latest signal, it says this is the price, and it says closing the existing pending whatever position due to a flat BTC price trend, and rule against opening new buys. So it's saying basically sell your positions. Coming back to here, so we have created something called providers, which I won't go into the whole code, but I'll just show you the relevant code. So essentially we've used the LLM APIs like Gemini is Gemini, Anthropic, or any custom API that you want to use, and this Gemini one was free, so I just used that. And we have created a prompt saying that you are a crypto trading agent managing DeFi positions. This is just a placeholder prompt I've put so that it just makes a decision without without really having any complex task to do. And you would obviously, if you're actually managing your money, then you'd create something that would be more thought through. So you've just instructed Gemini to decide whether to buy, sell, or hold the funds based on the hold ETH based on the BTC price trend and your trading history. So the user's wallet, essentially the user's portfolio and their trading history. We've told it to never risk more than 10% of the portfolio and in a single trade. And yeah, we've given it some basic guardrails like don't use all of the funds, don't spend too much money, and do take a decision. And it actually returns a response which is a JSON where there is an action which is to buy, sell, or hold, and the token which is ETH, and the amount of ETH, and a confidence score, so confidence of whatever percent, and one sentence of reasoning. So if you see here, every decision has like one sentence of reasoning given. This is what we see here. And how does this work? How does this whole thing come into place? So to do that, we have created a Kwala workflow, essentially, which this is where Kwala comes in. So if you come to kwala.network, let's just jump here. I'll also drop the link here in case anyone wants to try it out. So on app.kwala.network, I come to the dashboard and click the workflow builder. So what we actually want to do is we want to hit an endpoint on our app which actually checks the price of Bitcoin, because we want to know the latest price of the Bitcoin token, and then based on that price we want this prompt to run basically on whatever AI tool like Gemini or Anthropic APIs we're using. We want this to run and we want this response essentially. So to do that, we have our and Kwala workflow. So we are going to give a name like trader observe BTC, and there are two main parts of building a Kwala workflow. One is the trigger and the other is the action. So a trigger is a condition that can happen at a certain interval or based on a certain blockchain event, or certain other factors like some changes in the balance of a wallet address or changes in the price of a token. And in our case, we want this particular workflow to run at a specific time interval. So let's just say it should start immediately and repeat at a time interval of 5 minutes. You would do it even 1 minute. So I just set it to 5 minutes, but yeah, just do it whatever makes sense. And the action would be, in our case, it would be to call the post API, which we have already configured. What it does is it is the endpoint of our front end Next.js app. You don't really need a backend for this. You don't need a database. There are essentially no costs to do this, other than if you're using a paid API for your LLM. I'm just using the free Gemini API. So and then I'm going to pass a payload, which is essentially the cron-tick signal, which I've just named it, and the token name, which is BTC. And if I show you the endpoint here, where is our, okay, this is our Next.js app, and this is our observe endpoint. So what it essentially does, I won't explain every line of code, but just to give you an overview, it essentially fetches the Bitcoin price from a contract, from, I think it fetches it from the Chainlink contract, on Sepolia. And after fetching the price of Bitcoin, it sends a request to the Gemini API with all the data that's needed, like the user's recent trades, the get recent prices of the token, recent prices of Bitcoin, and the user's portfolio. And it passes on to the LLM's API to get a trading decision. And as I showed you in the earlier part here, it has this whole system prompt which is called, and this is the function which is called get trading decision. And when the decision is there, we just show it on the front end, and this is the one-liner explanation of the decision, and this is the buy or sell signal. And you could even configure it to actually act on this decision by making it a trade. So to do that, what we're doing is we've set up a Solidity contract as well, which keeps, so all of this data is actually stored in our Solidity contract. It's not stored in a DB, so it's all on chain, and it has this list of rounds, which are, so one round is essentially one invocation of this workflow. So we've already deployed this workflow, and if you see the successful actions in your Kwala dashboard, you'll see that this workflow did run successfully these many times. We have actually paused it now because we don't want to keep it running all the time, but it ran successfully, and these were the signals, like 20 signals in a really short amount of time. And you could configure it to actually do the trade rather than just sending the signal. So it would use the Uniswap SDKs and contracts to actually place an order to buy or sell or just hold. So hold would be no trade essentially. And this is the main, I think, function which records the round data, like whether the user should buy, the agent should buy or sell or hold. So all of that data is stored on the contract. And this is the other part which is optional, which is to actually place the trade, the buy or the sell trade. And yeah, that's pretty much the basic kind of workflow that is happening here. Okay, by the way, if there are any questions, please stop me and please drop your questions on the chat. Okay, good. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll drop the link, the GitHub link, on the YouTube chat as well, so that you can try it out. You'll need to deploy this. You can deploy it on Versal or just run it locally. And this one version that's deployed here it's just one instance which I've configured with my settings. But you could just deploy your own version of the contract and do it as well. All of the data, all of the contract addresses and everything is there on the repository. And to give you an overview of what's happening, just so that it makes sense. So what Kwala does is it calls this post API endpoint, which is there on our front end Next.js app, and it passes the token name whose price needs to be observed, and inside the code, as I showed you, it fetches the price. And then it also, inside, this is all happening inside this route, it fetches the portfolio of the user and recent trades of the contract that we had deployed here. So there'd be different trades that would be there and different rounds that would be there. So all of that data, and it passes on to an LLM for getting a decision whether to buy or sell or hold. And then the LLM gives a decision and gives a one-liner reasoning and tells you what amount to buy or sell. And then the part which is optional, which is to actually act on that decision. And for that we also have another workflow which is essentially to execute buy or execute sell. So if you have a look at our contract, there would be a open trade function. So yeah, so essentially you can create a trade and it would be processed, and the trade could obviously be buy or sell, and it would be visible here as well. So this is one trade that was opened. And to give you another way to execute this part, like the buying and selling part, I'll just show you. I'll just try to create a new workflow in which we say that, okay, maybe buy trade Kwala agent BTC. So what we want to do here is we'll first take a look at our contract and see there is an event called a buy signal. Okay, So whenever there's a buy signal or a sell signal, there'll be an event emitted. So what we can do here is watch for these events, right? We're gonna create and execute after event and repeat every event and set a date. And here we're going to put the contract address, which I think, let me take a look what the contract address is. I think it's not here, but I'll share the contract address. You basically need to put your contract address here, and I think it's on each Sepolia. Just a minute, I'll try to get the contract address so that you guys can take a look. Okay, just to give you another important part here. So here we've actually used, in our deployment, we've used the Gemini API. So you need to get the Gemini API key from the Gemini Google AI Studio. So you can just get that from there. It's a free model, so you don't need to pay anything. So you can just use this. Or in case you have Anthropic, which is paid, you can use that as well. And if you want to do some custom API, so you can even do that. You can create your own custom API which would return some decision based on, it could be an LLM, it could be some other kind of AI to do that decision making. So you could even do that. So it's totally up to you what you want to use here. I'm gonna so I've used the easy option of using Gemini. And here you basically need to deploy this contract which I showed you here. Where is our contract? Okay, this is our contract. So you need to deploy this, and you'll need to select the event, which is essentially the sell signal or the buy signal. Emit sell signal or the buy signal, and then once you pass that here, you would take an action. So I'll just show you another workflow to demonstrate what action you do. And the action would actually be to call a smart contract, because you want to do the buy or sell. And to buy or sell something, you would want to use a DEX like Uniswap. So you'd probably use something like Uniswap v3 contracts to, okay, what's this? Yeah, you probably use the Uniswap contracts. So whichever chain you're doing it on, you'd pick up the contracts at the contract address. And if you remember, last time we used the post API to hit this endpoint, but in this case we're going to call the Uniswap router contract, I think the swap router, yeah. And then you'd select the contract on whichever chain you're using it, and then you'd call the relevant function there. So the relevant function would be, I think, yeah, like one of these exact output single or exact output internal to basically place the trade. So you can just just look up the contracts, see the one that's actually relevant for placing the trade. I think it's probably this one, swap route V2. Yeah, it's actually this one, V2 swap router. So swap exact tokens for tokens. So you'd actually copy paste this somewhere here, and this would be the target function, and you'd do the whole swapping thing. So in our case, let's say you're trying to do a sell, so the token that you're going to sell, in this case BTC or wrapped BTC, you'd pass that address and the amount as well, and whatever relevant data that you need to pass in, you'd pass that, and you'd be able to place the sell or buy trade. So that's the second part of the agent, that is to actually act on whatever signals that you're getting. This part is to just manage your agent. So this is just a dashboard for a person, for a financial Monkey Yo says was out for a while. The workflows are deployed on SC. Yeah, SC. I'm not sure what SC. The workflows are deployed on Kwala, and the smart contract is deployed on the Sepolia Ethereum network. So I'll share the address as well with you, or you can just deploy it yourself. Yeah, so basically someone who's creating strategies and they want to quickly set up their own agent without having to go into coding, setting up fast databases, setting up servers which are needed for these transactions, which happen pretty fast and you need to make quick decisions. For that you do need a lot of infra, and that's where Kwala comes in, and it does all of your infra tasks like calling smart contracts, calling the APIs on time, setting up cron jobs that happen without failures, and placing trades, making sure the trades actually happen, and get signals on time. You could actually also set up alerts for your signals. So let me just quickly show you another thing that you could do. So whenever this thing happens, like a trading signal happens, you could set up an alert where the action could be a post API call, and in the API endpoint you'd actually set your Telegram alerts. So I think this is an example. Yeah, so you'd basically set up your Telegram API endpoint here, and this is you'd set your Telegram chat ID, and in the text you could write something like new BTC trading signal, and then pass whatever signal that you got here, like a buy or a sell signal. So just like I showed you this part, like a sell signal. So if it's a sell signal, you could just in the event part, in the trigger part, you could select an event, and you could set the contract, and then you, in the trigger event, you could select sell signal or a buy signal. If it's a sell signal, you could, in the messages, you could just write in the Telegram message that recommend selling whatever, some amount of Bitcoin, you could basically pass on that number from here. So it tells you the amount, it tells you the price. So you could just pass that on as a message and you'd get a Telegram alert for that. So not just a dashboard but also alerts. So this would be something that's really useful for people managing portfolios, doing trading, especially for traders. This is pretty useful. Yeah, I think we've covered three workflows now. Like, first was the one that creates these signals. The second was the one which acts on those signals and does those trades, places those trades, and the third one was the alert. So I think it's a pretty full-fledged solution that's really customizable as well, because you could just use our agent repo, just set it up on Versal and create your Kwala workflows, and you don't really need any backend server to set up. You could simply use our open source code base, and yeah, that's it. Let me know if there are any questions, chat. And if not, okay. Thank you, monkey. I think I did drop the link, right? Yeah, we have the link here as well. Just try it out. Harsha, all good. Cool. And do join our Discord server for any questions, and reach out to us for if you need any help setting up your own agent. No questions for now. Okay, take care. See you in the next one. Bye bye.